So you just started glutathione and you're probably interested in what you're going to be feeling over these next few weeks to the next, I would say, just 30 days. So starting off, the first 2 weeks are most likely going to be the hardest. And thankfully now there's lots of YouTubers and people here who have made videos telling you, like, kind of like walking you through their experience with glutathione. So I'm pretty sure you've probably done all the research, hours and hours and hours of videos, and so you'll probably have a good idea of what dosage to start off with, what glutathione, boosters and cofactors to take. You probably already know all of that, but there is kind of like this transition period of getting on glutathione and getting on vitamin C where your body is kind of shocked. And so there's no way to get around this. I restarted my glutathione journey back in, I think, September of last year. So I've only been back on it for about 9 months now, and I'm taking a pretty low dose, but I'm assuming that if this is your first time ever taking glutathione, you'll know that you need to take 5,000 milligrams or more a day. The dose I'm taking right now, I mean, it's great if you just want to ease into it. It's great if you want to maintain your color, but if you're looking for like quicker results, you need to at least be taking 5,000 milligrams or more, or I think you're going to be very unsatisfied with the rate at which your skin's lightening. So 5,000 or more. I think starting out doing like a powdered reduced glutathione, if you're on reduced glutathione, definitely do like 6,000 milligrams. My favorite is rectal syringe, but the rectal syringe is a pain in the butt. It's not actually a pain, but it's kind of weird if this is your first time ever doing something like this, but I can assure you, you will get used to it. But just starting off on the first 2 weeks of glutathione, you may have like a runny nose, you might start sneezing, you might feel kind of sleepy or lethargic. Basically, it's going to be feeling like you're sick. Everybody is different, or should I say every body is different. So some people might straight up feel like they're getting like the flu, while others just feel like you have like maybe your sinuses are acting up, or you just have like a cold. Basically, this is just your body detoxing. Sadly, there's no way around this. Every time I stop glutathione and then restart it, especially if you're doing mega dosing of glutathione, like my body goes through this. This is just your detox process. So depending on how many toxins are inside of your body, that basically is going to dictate how awful this process is. The great news is usually it's done within like 5 days. Like I wouldn't even like just like a business week, not even like a full week. But for some people it might be like about a full 7 days to 10 days. It really isn't anything you should be worried about. You don't need to take medicine for it. It's just our bodies hold a lot of detox. Our body holds a lot of toxins, and glutathione is the #1 antioxidant to basically get those toxins out of our body. And most of us, I feel like we're not making adequate amounts of glutathione, or the glutathione that we're naturally making and naturally consuming is basically being used up. So when you're mega dosing, your body's going to actually be able to get all of those toxins out because your body already isn't making enough glutathione. And after that, you're going to be feeling so much better. You'll notice that if you're a person that needed to take like naps, just like random naps throughout the day, kind of sort of, you'll notice like that will completely go away. Usually after about, I would say 2 to 3 weeks of glutathione, that'll start leveling out. You'll notice that maybe you'll start sleeping better, especially if you have like you get up like at a certain time in the middle of the night. It could be like you always wake up at 1 a.m. or like 3 a.m. You'll start to see that you'll have more nights where you're actually getting like a nice like 6 hours of like undisturbed sleep. And so it definitely takes a couple weeks of being on it, but this is just something that you can look forward to. Another thing, and this is like within the first 2 weeks, you might notice that you might have some light breakouts. I'm not going to talk about MSM in this video, but those types of breakouts, a lot of people get them, and those are like really angry acne, like pimples under the skin. It hurts, it's red. This is different. I notice it's more of like little white heads and little black heads. You could get these on your face, you get them on your chest, on your back, and basically again it's just the toxins basically removing themselves. It might be a little annoying to you, but it definitely could be worse. It could be like an MSM detox. An MSM detox is one of the worst things ever, and an MSM detox usually lasts about 3 to 4 weeks, so that whole first month is kind of crappy. So within the first 2 weeks, you're also going to notice bloating and gas, like galore. You know, after you do your rectal syringe, you might notice that your stomach is kind of bloated, kind of achy. You're also going to notice this when you start taking a mega dose of vitamin C. So it really doesn't take a lot to kind of have your body say what is going on. So definitely be careful with the vitamin C. I don't recommend just all of a sudden just going to 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C in one day. You probably already know if you're starting glutathione, you also need to take vitamin C at the same time as you're taking your glutathione. They work hand in hand and they're great. But yeah, the vitamin C, I think, is definitely something that will kind of aggravate the whole situation. I mean, you're gonna have some bloating and some gas with a rectal syringe either way. You're still gonna have some bloating, some gas if you're on liposomal glutathione, especially if you're on the liquid liposomal glutathione. As for the pills, maybe not so much, but vitamin C basically is also going to detox you. And so I would definitely, if you want to take like up to 5,000 milligrams of vitamin C or 4,000 milligrams of vitamin C, I would inch your way up so you're not having these stomach issues like so bad, because it's just, it definitely gets worse with the vitamin C. So for the glutathione, you're gonna be having some bloating and gas anyways, but the vitamin C, I feel like, just makes it worse. So inch your way up to whatever amount of vitamin C you want to take, and you know, just do your research and trust yourself on what the right amount of vitamin C is. You know, that could be anywhere from 2,000 milligrams to 5,000. Some people do 10,000. Whether or not 10,000 is needed, I don't know, but it also probably depends on how much glutathione you're going to be taking. So you might want to start off taking like 9,000 milligrams of glutathione a day, or you might want to start off taking like 6,000 or 5,000. So it just depends on how much glutathione you have and you know, what your resources are looking like. So I do have some recommendations, and I was not able to try this before I started glutathione or got back on glutathione, but if I was going to go on a break and stop glutathione, which I have no intentions of doing ever, but if I were to, and then I was gonna restart the glutathione, so I was gonna take like a month break or 2 month break, this is what I would do to try to help mitigate the detox effects, try to just get around it. I would try to do some distilled water enemas, maybe like a week prior to starting the glutathione and vitamin C regimen. And so I recommend distilled water because if you've never done an enema, I don't want you to start off with like a coffee enema. Like, that is the best way to detox your body, and it boosts your natural glutathione. But I think that could be like a heavy moment of detoxing. And so basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to basically make your body not react to the glutathione and the vitamin C that you're about to put into it so basically aggressively. We want you to just kind of like ease into it. And so I would just say distilled water enema, do about 4 cups of water, and make sure it's distilled. And basically you just insert it. You can use a bulb or you can use the enema bag. You can just Google those, but basically you would just insert it, set a timer for 15 minutes. You'll see your body or your stomach kind of like bloat a little bit. That's just the distilled water going in there because you just added like 4 cups of water. And once that timer goes off at the end of the 15 minutes, if you can make it 15 minutes, then you just run to the bathroom and you release all of that, and that's helping you get all of those caked up toxins out of your small and large intestines. And so you can do that as many times as you want. Some people will do another one right after, and basically they'll do it until the water coming out of them is running clear. It is not uncommon for people to have, we're literally talking about months and months and months of caked up feces in their colon, in their rectum. Like, it's pretty bad, and there's nothing you can do about it unless you do like, you can go do this professionally done if you want, but this is the cheapest way if you want to do it yourself. And so getting all of that out, I think that would definitely help you not have such an awful detox before you start your glutathione. Though the glutathione detox really isn't as bad as compared to like an MSM detox. So if you feel like you can handle a coffee enema, then the only change you would make is you would brew like some coffee, and you'd only need like 1/4 of a cup. So like 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup. You don't need a lot of coffee. You just let that black coffee cool down completely. And then you would just add that to your 4 cups of water, distilled water, always distilled water. You cannot use regular water, purified water, don't do it. Just do distilled. You'll get awful stomach cramps. and it'll last for like hours even after all the water's out of you. But anyways, you would just do that. And yeah, so the coffee detox, it's great for people if you eat like raw fish or things like that. I don't want to get too into it, but some people have seen actual worms come out in their feces. Obviously, if you're eating raw meats, raw fish, this is something that can happen. And so with the coffee enema is the only way to detox yourself in such a way that would kill all of those bacteria and little worms. It's the only thing that can do that. The distilled water enema isn't going to do that for you. So yeah, after the 4 weeks of your glutathione and your vitamin C routine, you're definitely going to have more energy. It's not going to feel like you just took a pre-workout. You're just going to feel like you don't need like a 2 o'clock nap, or you'll feel like you can make it throughout your day, like your entire morning work day, and come home and like by 7 p.m. or 8, you're not going to feel like you're just ready for bed. As far as for your skin, you will notice a slight difference. Of course, this all depends on how much glutathione you're taking and how you're taking it. If you're doing glutathione pills and you're taking it orally, obviously you might not notice anything so radical, but let's say you're doing a mega dose of like reduced glutathione and you're doing rectal syringes, you're going to start to notice that glow definitely within the first month. And so it'll kind of give you a boost in confidence that this is working. I don't know if anyone else is going to comment on it, but you yourself will be able to see. As far as for lightening, it just depends on how much glutathione you're taking, if you can actually notice within only 1 month, but you will notice some change. And I think for a lot of people, just seeing a little bit of a glow, a little bit of a change, it's enough to like just keep with it.